Okay, so I'm going to still close my work with a slip stitch. If I can get my stitch marker out, just as we did before. But we are now ready to move on to a very lovely back loop round. So back loop round might sound a bit tricky. It isn't. It just means we're going to be working in the back loop only of our stitch. Now, before I move on to that, we rather like having the base. If I show you this particular basket, just because it's kind of a bit bigger and easier to see, when I look into the basket, that is the right side of the base. If I show you the underneath, that's the wrong side. And I'm going to say I think they're both perfectly attractive. I think the holding the two colours together makes a real difference there. It's really lovely, isn't it? But it looks quite nice if you can sort of look into your basket and see the right side of the work. So in order to do that, rather than just kind of continuing, we need to turn. We need to turn and go back the other way. You just need to trust me on that. It'll all become clear. So I'm going to turn my work. So now I'm looking at the back of the work. Okay, you can see the difference, can't you? Right side, wrong side. I am going to still make a chain when I turn. So I'm going to do my one chain, turn my work. And I am now ready to work my back loop only round. Now, what does back loop only mean? Let me take this out and grab a little pointy needle and show you. So when you normally make a stitch, I'm sure you know this, if you don't, when you normally make a stitch, your hook will go under both legs of the stitch. You can kind of see the V on the stitch there, can't you? When you make a back loop only or a front loop only, you use just one of the legs of the stitch. So for a back loop, our hook is going to go under there, like so. Front loop, it would go under there. Can you see? Back loop, that's what we're interested in. It's going to go under just the back leg of the stitch. And what it's going to mean is that when we work it like this, this is often used to kind of change the direction of the stitches. You can see now they're sort of starting to become vertical, aren't they, on this particular basket and on our little one here as well. They just become vertical. They start working up the sides rather than flat and round and round and round. So that helps us with that. It also helps if you need a kind of a definite fold in something, maybe if you're making a flap for a bag or something like that. Working back loops or front loops really helps for that. Okay, I will stop talking. We will crack on. So we need to make our first back loop only stitch into our what will be our next stitch along. You can see my slip stitch and stuff is coming up out of this stitch here. Okay, we're going to miss that obviously, and we're going to go into our next stitch along. And I put my hook just under the back leg of that stitch, and all I'm going to do is go all the way around and work one double crochet in every stitch. Now again, I think let's mark our stitch just until we're confident, because once you've decided what size your base is going to be, your basket, the stitch count for your basket will remain the same throughout. So we stopped at round 5 and we've got 30 stitches on our base, and so our basket, the sides of it, our stitch count should be 30 all the way around, all the way up to the top. However tall we make it, it's going to remain at 30. So until we're comfortable where to sort of start and stop each round, let's keep using our stitch marker. It's good practice. I'm very bad at doing this, and I'm going to try and be better, particularly since they're really lovely, aren't they, the stitch markers? So you can see I'm just working back loops only, so the hook's going in just to the back leg of the stitch. And what's that doing to the direction? Let me stop and show you what that's doing to the direction. If I put that down, you can see really clearly that the stitches are standing upright and they're not flat. Okay, flat coming up the side. Very clever. So lovely technique again for, like I said, if you're wanting to change direction of your stitches. There's nothing more special than that on this particular round. except back loop only, 1 double crochet in each all the way around. So I'm going to do that and see you at the end. Okay, so last stitch into last available back loop. And if I just take that out, you can see all the way around our back loop only double crochet. This now becomes the right side of our work. This is going to be the outside of our basket, and the inside of our basket is the reverse or the wrong side of our work. Okay, so we've completed our round. We've got 30 stitches, and we have, because I've just checked. So we're going to close with a slip stitch. Now, before we do so I will put my, I would normally just slip stitch like that. What we're going to do is, because we're going to be changing colour now, we're going to use the new colour we're going to pull through the new colour into our slip stitch to make a lovely kind of seamless colour change. Let me show you what I mean, because this is how we're going to be colour changing throughout. I'm going to leave a little bit of yarn, enough to sew in, you don't need too much, and I'm going to get our next colour out, which for this project, for this basket is rounds B, colours B and O is my favourite, just saying. Same again as before, if you want to join those two yarns together with a little knot, go ahead. Okay, so I've got my 2 new colours ready to go, yarns B and O. I've done my little knot in the end. I don't know why. And we're going to use those 2 new colours to work our slip stitch to close the round. So I'm going to put my my hook under the stitch, the first stitch we made, just as normal. But rather than pick up the yarn we've already got on our hook, we're going to pick up those 2 new ones. Okay, so I'm just going to pull it through. You can see the colour change coming through really clearly, can't you? And pull it through again. And there we go with our slip stitch closure. As you work on through this, you will find that you can pull those 2 ends nice and tight. You can sew in your ends and it will be lovely and secure, and you will never know. You will never know that anything has happened. Right, so we are ready to carry on. We're now at round 7. And what we're going to do is we are going to introduce a new stitch in a moment, and it's called the long double crochet. So let's have a look and see how that goes. But at the beginning of round 7, all we're going to do to start with is put a double crochet in the next stitch. All right, now if you want to, you can mark that. It's sort of obvious which one it is because it's the first one in the new colour. So I'm going to leave that for now because there's a lot of things going on and I want to keep it nice and clean to show you. So that's our normal regular double crochet. Do not forget that that is a UK terminology, and I'm now going to show you the long double crochet. Now all that means is it's again just a slightly different place where you put your hook. We'd normally expect to go into there for our next stitch, but in fact we are going to go in there. So at the bottom of our stitch, at the bottom of sort of what would be a V, if you like, the V of the stitch. So let me show you. So there's where I would normally go, but I'm going to go into there, and I'm going to pick up my yarn and give it enough height to get to the top and complete the double crochet. So you can see it's just made a slightly longer stitch, and as we work round, that's what gives it this lovely sort of basket weave effect. Okay, you can see those long stitches, can't you? It gives them the basket weave effect, and it looks amazing when you introduce different colours on each row. So let's do that again. So our pattern for our round is going to be 1 double crochet, 1 long double crochet. So all you need to watch out for, there's nothing too bad that will trip you up. Just make sure that you're putting your kind of, where you've done a long double crochet, you're not kind of going back into the top. I don't think it's sort of possible, but just be sure you're not going, putting 2 stitches into one. Let's see if that's even possible. So I've done the normal double crochet. I'm now going to come down. So I don't want to put my hook in there. Let me show you what would happen if I do. it's all a little bit crowded, isn't it, at the top? Can you see? It's a little bit, this is spaced correctly, double crochet, long double crochet, then you've got this crowding situation happening here. No, we don't like that. Just make sure you hop along to the next double crochet, sorry, to the next stitch to be able to put that long double crochet in its rightful place and give it enough space to show off its gorgeousness. We all need that, don't we? Okay, so that's it really. That's as difficult as this is going to get for you. So I'm breathing a sigh of relief. I don't know about you. All the way around, normal double crochet, long double crochet. Okay, normal double crochet, long double crochet. Right, so I've just completed my last double crochet of the round, and I've got to now finish with my last long double crochet. The picture in your book is really clear as to where that needs to go, and it is just here, so it's almost underneath, well it is underneath, isn't it, where you first pulled through this new colour. So it's a lovely pointer as to where you need to put your hook. So through and up. And we have now completed a full round with our double crochet and long double crochet. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so I'm ready now to do my slip stitch, but I'm going to introduce my new colours. Colours G and K, the lovely goldy colour and like a lemon yellow. Just as we did before, I'm going to use those new colours to finish off my slip stitch. Okay, so my hook is in the first stitch that we made, and I'm going to pick up those two new colours and use those to complete my slip stitch. So it's through one part, through two parts, and there we are, new colours on the hook ready to go. And we are on round 8, and it's more of the same, which is to say long double crochet and regular double crochet. And all we need to know here is, where do they go? Okay, what's the positioning of them? We're always going to start our rounds with a regular double crochet, but they're going to sit in the top of the long double crochet from the round before. So they're going to sit just to the right. So I'm going to put my first double crochet in there, regular double crochet, normal size. And now my long double crochet, my hook, is going to go into the sort of the point, if you like, of that regular double crochet from the round before. And what that means is, as you work your basket, those regular size double crochets become invisible. You cannot see them. You can only see the lovely long double crochet, which is what gives the basket weave effect, which is so clever. How do they know? How do the designers know that this is going to happen? This is my eternal question. Why haven't I got that in my brain? Okay, so you can see it's gorgeous because it is a totally a pointer for you. It's almost like an arrow, isn't it? Put your long double crochet here, put your long double crochet here. So you've got your pointer where you put your normal double crochet just to the right of the long one, and your pointer where you put the long double crochet just at the bottom of the short one. And that is it, my loves. That is it. That is all you need to know to create the beautiful basket weave effect of these baskets. So let's just have a recap as I work around here. We've shown you how to change colour, shown you how to do the long and short double crochet, showed you how to slip stitch with the new colour as mentioned. So there's not really much more I can show you about the structure of the baskets. Now if you look through in the pattern, you will see that your round numbers will show you very clearly what combination of yarn colours you need to use. Oh, I'm so sorry, that was so shaky. What combination of yarn colours you need to use. You can completely ignore them if you wish. This is up to you, whatever. So there really is nothing else extra I'm going to need to show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way through and complete this basket, and then we're going to meet at the end and have a little chat about crab stitch.